trimming it up, and I'm just flooring it and just going, and I'm looking off in the fog, and I see like a shrimp boat. And so I start going towards the shrimp boat, thinking like it's deep water. The shrimp boat's on its side. It's like a destroyed one. There's pelicans and stuff standing there. So I go whipping by that thing, almost get stuck. I make it over there. I fish for 45 minutes, dude. 45 minutes. And I catch like 12 pounds. Oh boy, we're running out. We're running out of ways to start this podcast.
That was my drum roll.
Yeah.
Don't you remember?
Do a turkey call.
Don't you remember Christmas?
Do the turkey call.
Oh, we did that before.
We did it. Yeah,
first podcast.
That could be a good start to every podcast.
He did it. You did it last night.
Oh, I was doing it good. Did you hear it, Matt?
Christmas vacation.
Yeah.
Did you hear me doing turkey call last night?
Yeah, it sucked.
Huh? I was purring and everything.
I mean, relative to McCoy, you were pretty good.
Okay.
If anybody's seen McCoy on the YouTube. When he got that call
at the house
at Mark's and he got in the truck and he put it in his mouth and he couldn't stop laughing, but he had the call in his mouth while he was laughing.
He's gonna.
Wait, let McCoy call him. What about Scott making them gobble?
You can't even mimic that sound.
What about him making them gobble at the house?
Yeah. Oh, I did pretty good.
Yeah, what did you say? Hey, turkey, gobble, and he gobbled or something like that. Yeah.
All right, we are here. I think this is the 4th podcast, maybe the 5th podcast, actually.
God, I should have worn longer sleeves. Look at my tan line on this. Woo! Okay, I'm ready now. Continue.
You already ready for bed?
Yeah.
He's been fighting to go to bed for about 30 minutes.
I got my jammies on.
You do. He's actually, yeah, they're on right now. So we're getting close to a name. We are getting close to a name. What was a couple of ones that you read that there's a couple final decisions we have to make, but I do have one that I like.
Yeah.
Which one do you like? Which one do you
I'll
like?
be honest with you. Yours was pretty catchy. 2 Scotts and a Matt, though, can never be duplicated.
Yeah.
So,
but the problem is, what happens if you just all of a sudden one day just decide you don't have time to do it anymore and you just want to move on, go turkey hunting?
I tried that tonight, and I'm sitting here. Ain't
I know, but
I said I need to go to bed. No, you're doing a podcast. Get in here.
but it's not going to happen in the fall. In the fall, when it's turkey season, you won't even answer.
There's
the
no
phone.
First of all, turkey
season
season's not in the fall. We got to work.
And we don't do podcasts
but
in the
deer
fall.
season's in the fall, to your
right,
point.
that's right.
And yeah, we might have an issue.
We're not going to be doing podcasts in the fall.
Why not? We got to keep it rolling.
Yeah, what are you talking about, Ken?
At every tournament, we're doing one. How many tournaments are you going to fish this fall?
Well, you can't just have 9 podcasts.
We're going to send you guys the little remote stuff, and we can do them on the road, and you can do them at home. I can do them wherever.
From a tree stand?
Yeah.
That would be good.
So I can do one without talking?
Yeah. You could. That'd be great. That would work, actually.
Was that a shot? Was that a real shot?
The best podcast ever.
Speaking of names,
There you go.
Real Shots was one.
Real Shot. I did like that
REEL.
one. Yeah, Real Shots. Which one did you like the best? Or maybe 1 or 2 of them.
Y'all did pretty good. Prop wash.
Prop wash is what I came up with.
Yeah.
Prop wash.
I like
good
that.
one.
Blow it all
Sorta
out.
catchy.
That's where we blow it all
A
out.
good one. That's a good one.
That'd be like the title. We blow it all out. Prop wash. I can see it now. Like the prop going, prop wash. Like a little animation. I think McCoy could do that.
Oh, easy.
A little 3D rendering of a prop and the whole thing going.
McCoy,
As
you
much
listening?
stuff as McCoy copies, he could do that easily.
McCoy, plagiarism king.
Look at him.
That's the one thing I have to say. He doesn't plagiarize.
No, he's
No.
very OG.
He's gotten really, 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 really good. I think everyone has to agree. The intros on the videos this year are honestly at another level. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a lot of very talented guys out there editing right now, more than ever. But McCoy's in a league of his own. He really is.
What do I do, McCoy? About every other episode, I text him and I say, "Dude, I don't think the intros can get any better."
Yeah.
And then the next video, I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like,
Dude, he
we
had the
pick on
drone in the
McCoy.
clouds. He had the drone in, like, I thought that was
Yeah.
a special effect. And I was like,
He's had him above the clouds. He's had him under the water.
yeah.
He's had him all kinds of places.
exactly.
That's enough. He's got to ride with Scott in the morning, dude. Or he's got to drive Scott to the ramp in the morning.
And
He can't do it with his head out the window if he don't fit in the door. That's enough
head's gonna be
good
too
talks about him.
all right, so I thought, let's make
He'll
this
be
one.
getting in like the Dukes of Hazzard with his head stuck out.
he's got to be a guest on this podcast eventually. By the way,
Yeah.
he's got to slide.
All he's got to do is just come over here and sit down. He's acting like he's doing something. All he's doing is standing with his arms crossed. Yeah. Watching the cameras. All right, so here's what the deal. We are in, where are we? We're in Orange, Texas. All right.
Sabine
No,
River.
we're not in Orange. We're not in Orange.
We're in Beaumont.
Beaumont. We're in Beaumont. We rented a little house here. We are practicing for this Bassmaster Elite event. This is one of the more challenging tournaments that I've ever fished. 2 years ago when we came here.
Definitely. And I mean, I got some decent bites then. I mean, I actually thought it was a little better then than it is now.
One ratio of keeper bites was better then.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, like like I can get 25, 30 bites now, I feel like, and it's going to be stretching it to have a limit.
Right.
And then if I got 20 bites, I feel like I'd catch 10 keepers.
Yeah.
I mean, 12-inch size.
Right. Yeah, I think I had I don't know. We both I think you and I made the cut. You had a tough tournament. But
Well,
I think
he
we're
had
only
a cut-
catching like 8 pounds a day.
Yeah, he
You
had
had a big
no.
bag the first day and then didn't catch
I
it
had
the
9 pounds, I think, the first day.
Yeah.
We didn't have 8
Which is
pounds a
huge.
day. 8 pounds a day was a sack. We had
Well, I had
7 pounds a day.
I had 8 something, 8:12 or something the first day. I did.
This is a
I had some 2-pounders.
challenging event for me here. It seems to just, I don't fish good in crowds, and it's weird.
It's gonna be an
If you get
understatement
away
for
from
me
people here, you
tomorrow.
sort of get away from fish, I think.
Yeah.
For sure. I'd never call
Unless
bass
you
that I hadn't
make a
seen on boats in.
120-mile run or whatever.
And you still might run into
And
somebody.
really, that's what I wanted to talk about in this podcast because I think there's some good stories about some long runs. I mean, I've made a long run and won a big tournament. I know Canterbury made a long run and won a big tournament.
Oh, yeah. I've made lots of long
Matt
runs.
made a long run a couple years ago. I think it was 16 miles, the longest run he's made.
That was there and back.
That's right. Eight
it's
away
8
from the
miles
boat
one way.
ramp and back. That's a
long
long.
way.
He went to the Classic this year. He went to Tellico from Fort Lauderdale. That was
I
a long
did.
run
I
for
went
Matt.
halfway up Tellico from.
That was a
Wax.
long run, dude.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm calculated, y'all. You gotta understand.
Very calculated.
Classic.
I
Classic. You're there
appreciate
for
your
one reason.
simplicity. I do appreciate your simplicity. Just gonna stay right here close by and just fish.
Put my head down, grind,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to
Yeah.
kick y'all's tail.
I overthink it, man.
No.
You try to win.
Yeah, there's different ways to approach this game, and I just have my way. You have your way.
The way I looked at this tournament for me, and I'm not doing real good in points. That last tournament really hurt me, but I don't even know what place I'm in. I don't even care because I didn't even look. Canterbury said 50. I don't know what place, 53rd. It doesn't matter because I'm going to approach this tournament just like I was in 10th place, and I'm going to try to win the tournament. And if I fish my guts out, and if I don't win, maybe I'll come real dang close and have a good tournament. I mean,
Right.
that's just the only
That's
way I
right.
can look at it. Sticking around close to the ramp, can I catch some keepers 2 days in a row? Most likely. I just don't know how many people are going to be. I think it's going to be a lot of pressure.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to
After
catch
day
them.
one.
You're going to catch them. I'm making a long run, and I don't think there's going to be that many boats. There might be one, maybe two. But, I mean, there wasn't anybody there the first day, and there wasn't anybody there today. I don't know how many boats fished over there yesterday. I heard there was a couple, but I don't know if they're going to go back.
Right.
It's about 120 miles each way. Now, when I won Pascagoula, I had to get gas every day, and it was about the same distance. By the time I ran, in the ocean,
Yeah.
all the way on the southern part of Mississippi into Alabama, under Dolphin Island Bridge, up through Mobile Bay, underneath I-10, and jumping sandbars, and doing all this crazy stuff, and ended up winning the tournament. How far of a run was it at Winyah Bay?
120 miles, something like that.
And
Yeah.
then you did another one at Seminole, didn't you?
Eufaula. I ran like 130 there.
Really?
I ran almost completely out of gas. I forget what it was. And gas wasn't like super expensive, but I was burning it was way over $300 a day. And then you had to carry a gallon of oil each day because we didn't have 4-strokes then. So you had to carry oil and everything. It was really a long run there.
Wow.
Because I went from Eufaula, it's like 45
It's a
miles
crazy
to the
story,
dam.
really. That's probably one of the coolest ones because you it's one thing to just go real far.
Yeah.
But you locked into a whole other lake.
No, I locked out of Eufaula, 45 miles to the lock. Then it's 26 miles, I think, to the next lock. And then you got to
I
run down
forgot
to
there was a lock in
Chattahoochee.
between. I forgot about that.
You leave Alabama, you go through Florida, and I was going up the Flint into Georgia, So
So you fished 3 states.
yeah.
You ran through 3
Oh,
states.
that's right. It was crazy. I only did it for 2 days. The third day I didn't go. I stayed on Eufaula the third day, but still, it was a long, long.
How
run.
much time did you have to fish the first day?
Like 3.5 hours.
Okay.
And it took that the first day. But stopped on a place and caught some late. And the second day I started there, and I only fished like 55 minutes, and I caught 24 pounds. So
What?
yeah, it was crazy. And then I took my time. I said, then I'd let my co-angler fish. I turned the boat around, spot lock, let him fish, and he couldn't catch him. So I said, let's just going back. You follow, and we'll get, I'll let you catch some.
Yeah.
And
You
we
can
went
practice
back
a
and we
little bit up
did.
there too, yeah.
We did. We
Yeah.
caught a few. But I fished to the last second. Like I even shook some off. And I'd say, all right, throw in there in the brush pile. I'd shake one off and he'd throw in there and catch it, whatever,
Really?
Yeah. So we fished to the last minute. And I ran in real fast, went to the top 10 meet, and I was leading by 10 or 12 pounds. And came back out and was hooking my boat up. And my prop was running Evinrude. My prop had a crack like that long in it. One of the ears was about to, another mile, it would have probably slung an ear off.
Gosh.
Why didn't I should have went in 15 or 20 minutes early, but I didn't.
Wow.
So that was crazy.
That's a cool story. And then when y'all bait, did you have to lock in that one?
No
locking.
But you had to stop. That was a weird one too, because you had to stop and get. On the first day, I stopped and got gas on the way, and then had to stop on the way back because of where the gas station was.
Right.
So Todd Alton told me, he said, man, there's another gas pump on up. You can make it, to there, and then you don't have to stop. I did that on day 2, and Caleb Summerall ran back with me and stuff. And like, we got back, I timed it at the mouth of the intercoastal waterways. I had like, on the way over there, I had 60% fuel left when I got there. So I said, all I need is 40 on the way back. So when I got back to there, I said, dude, I got like 46 to 47%. So I said, I'll make it easy.
Oh, it drops quick. When it
Oh,
gets to that last
gosh.
10%.
Hey, I ran the last 6 miles
On zero.
On 0%.
Yeah, right.
Had a 50-gallon tank, Skeeter, 50-gallon tank. I put 49.68 gallons that night in the boat.
Oh, my gosh. No, that is the one thing that I've noticed on the Skeeters. Love the boat.
Well,
But it,
and I
it
realized,
goes
you know what it
down.
was?
What?
When you fill it completely up, it's full. So it runs a long ways before you ever start dropping. On the water, the way I had to fill it up, I sat on that side of the boat, so the boat's leaning that way.
Yeah.
So actually, when I took off, it was already on like 93% or something. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get that first initial free, I didn't run for 15 miles before it started dropping.
Right. That's
Because the
crazy.
boat wasn't leveled out.
Yeah.
Like we carry 2x4. I carry two 2x4s a lot of times. I did it at South Dakota.
Put extra gas in.
Yep. Pull your boat trailer up on it, and you
Okay.
lean it away from the gas pump, and that way you can get an extra 2 or 3 gallons. It fills the hoses and all that kind of stuff up.
Really?
It'll completely fill your tank.
ever had to do that?
Hot tip?
You ever had to do that?
No. No.
I was doing it at South Dakota last year every day.
Oh,
He
my
said
gosh.
no.
I've never got.
Yeah, I can put like an extra, like if it's, so here's a tip, okay? If you're at a gas pump, you need to get everything in there, and you don't have the block of wood, but when you pump it, it'll shut off, okay? And it'll act like it's full. And just wait a second, shake the boat,
Yeah, shake it.
and keep creeping it in there. You can always get about another 4 gallons. About 4 gallons.
crazy.
That's a lot of gas.
Yeah. That's
It'll keep burping a little bit.
12 miles.
Oh man, big time. Like we did it the other day at the place here. We put an extra 4 gallons in.
so. Did you check on your gas station here?
There is one open in the morning, and I need to look. There's another one that I didn't call, but I know it's open, and I need to see what I'm going to do. But I might run straight there. I might get gas on the way back because the tide's not going to be good. The tide gets a little weird.
You got
in the
100. If
afternoon.
it's 100 and say it's 110 miles, I think that you pretty much 110.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have another 30 before you got. You can't run over 30.
Do you
before-
know? You know that you mapped the distance.
I mapped it. Yeah.
He mapped it. I'm going to do it again tonight. I'm going to look at it one more time.
Yeah, double check.
But I could. There's a gas station. I need to see how far it is on the way. That I think is 30 miles from the river, from where I'm going. So I could maybe make it back, but I don't. It's risky.
Nah.
I just need to see.
Cruise back.
That'd save me a couple. Because the other one's only about a mile north. I got to go out and go up.
Oh well, yeah.
That's not that big of a deal though. A mile.
No, I would do that if I thought I only had 30 miles. Yeah.
Right. Well, the longest run I ever made was that Pascagoula River, and it was my first year on the FLW tour. Second tournament I ever fished. First one we started at Okeechobee, I finished like 60th or something.
What year was your rookie year?
2000.
2000.
Yeah. 2000.
I'm sort of jealous here that you get to drive your boat. You get to drive that Skeeter all day, and you don't have to
Just
cast.
chill.
You don't have to fish like I do.
just
I got to
gotta
sit
sit
there
back.
cast and grind, and you just
You got
be
to go an
driving.
hour.
Huh? 2 hours, one each day.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna drive 4 hours in my boat this week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's 4
Each
hours
day.
you don't have to fish here.
She's got a point. I might just make the run over there and not even fish, come back.
Yeah.
and run back.
Come on. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna catch, man. It was tough. But let me tell you the story about Pascagoula River because this was a cool one. The scaredest I've ever been in a tournament, and the most excited at the same time. So the first day of the tournament was the first day I ever ran my boat from Pascagoula River to my
Really?
spot in Mobile. I didn't make that run. I didn't know. And this is back before GPS has had maps and all the contours. I mean, I'm running the ocean
Is this
too.
the
by the way.
tournament you drew Bill Taylor? Or who did you draw?
No, it wasn't Bill Taylor. It was
Who was it?
Steve Bowman.
Steve, I remember that. Steve has actually told me this story.
Yeah. So this is the craziest story ever to me. Scariest I've ever been. So the first day of the tournament, I blast off, and I've never made this run before. And the run from Pascagoula River to Dolphin Island Bridge is nothing but oyster bars and sandbars. It's super shallow. No channels, nothing marked or anything. And I'm in a 518 Ranger,
Yeah.
and I take off, and I just point at that direction, and I'm just driving by sight. And there's little white PVC poles marking oyster bars, and I'm zipping around those things and left and rights and just going and going and going, and everything's fine. It's dead calm. It's February.
Are you like in the intercoastal, or
No,
are you
I'm
like
in
the ocean?
in the ocean.
Like you can see the beach?
Well, there's the barrier islands are out farther than me, so I'm in that zone between the barrier islands and the mainland, and it's nothing but oyster bars and marsh. But it's not like
Redfish stuff.
Sounds salty.
but it's just open water. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like you're just driving. It's open, but it's all like a foot, 2 foot deep with oyster bars. So I'm driving, and I'm having to watch where these little PVC poles are, and I drive all the way. I get to Dolphin Island Bridge. I turn. I go up in Mobile Bay, 30 miles. I'm driving. There's these big oil freighters, that are going up into Mobile
Yeah.
Bay to get oil. And I remember looking at one of those oil freighters, and I was amazed at how big the wave was coming off the back of that thing. Like it was this giant
Like 12
wave,
foot?
10-foot wave coming off the back. And I didn't get near it. I shot up through there. I got up there and started fishing. Caught my fish pretty quick. Had like 12 pounds, which was a big deal. We've got enough time. Let's go on back. So it's about a 2-hour boat ride back. Dead calm. Kind of chilly. I get the boat up on plane, and I don't, I'm thinking I'm going to run 65 miles an hour all the way back because it's dead slick calm. There's not even a breath of air, of wind. I'm driving, and I get underneath I-10. By the way, I had to jump a couple oyster bars to get to where I fished. I get out in the open water at I-10, and I'm looking out in front of me, and it just looked like the end of the earth. It just looked like everything just disappeared. And I get out there, and I realize it's a giant fog bank
In the evening?
at
On the
2
way
o'clock
back.
in the afternoon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There's
Yeah.
a giant fog bank that is the thickest fog you've ever seen in your life, just out in the middle of the ocean fog. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we hit it. That's when I had Bowman. And we hit this fog bank, and we're going, and I can't see anything, man. And my glasses are like, water's coming off of them. I'm reading my boat, the little bread trail on my GPS. There's no map, just a little trail where I've driven. But there was markers, and there was stuff like this that I could see. So I'm driving along. And about that time, about 20 minutes into it, all of a sudden Bowman screams, "Whoa!" And I look up, and there's something in front of me. Big, giant. And I'm not going full speed because I can't. I'm going like maybe 35, 40 miles an hour, about as fast as I felt comfortable going. And my reaction was to turn to the right. So I just turned to the right. I don't know if it's, in my mind, I thought it was like land because it was this big, giant thing. It's one of those dang oil freighters, dude. And I go down the side of this thing. I can see it. And I'm turning to the right, and then I'm thinking, I'm going to hit this wave any second. So I'm turning to the right, and I'm trying to get away from it. And all of a sudden, after about 10, 15 seconds of driving, he starts screaming again. I look up in front of me this way, and there's another thing going on, and it's another oil freighter, dude. And I hang to the left, and he's freaking out. Like, I don't know when the wave's coming. I think we're going to get launched in the air and die. But what happened was 2 oil freighters were going like this. And
You went between 'em?
I went between them, dude. I went like between them, like that.
Oh
And didn't hit a wave.
Gosh.
But if I'd have went behind them, I'd have skyrocketed. I mean, just flipped the boat over. So I get through that.
Well, they probably wasn't going that fast either at that time.
Well, but
because of the fog.
They still had a big wave. I'm sure they had a wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, oil freighter doesn't need to go
That's
fast.
So then I get to Dolphin Island Bridge and I'm driving and I'm freaked out. I'm just watching and I'm trying to see everything. And now I'm getting to where all these PVC poles were, and I had to go a little left, a little right, but I can't see anything. So I make it through there, and a couple poles go right by me. I T-bone a few PVC poles. I jump a few oyster bars, and the whole thing's just this crazy debacle. I get back to the boat ramp, and I'm shaking. And I'm like, oh, there's no way. If there's fog tomorrow, I'm not going. Dude, I almost died. There's just no way I'm going to go. So weigh my fish in. I'm in second or third place in the tournament. Next day rolls. Sure enough, there's fog at blast off. Like, we're sitting there in the boat basin, and it's sucked in, like solid fog. And I'm like, well. And I was first. I was like boat 5 or 6 the second day. So I had to be back at 3. So I'm like, well, dude, if we don't blast off before 8:30, I'm not going anyways, because I won't have enough time to fish. I won't have enough time to drive slow 40 miles an hour.
Right.
And then fish for, an hour and a half, and then turn around and come all the way back, and then I'm probably going to get in a wreck. So I'm sitting there in the basin. I have no other place to fish. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Well, 8:30 comes. They're still sitting there. I said, well, I'm just going to have to just run up the Pascagoula River and just go fish something up there and to try to catch a few bass. 9 o'clock, they start calling boat numbers. Now the fog is still thick everywhere else except where in the little basin. It had just lifted just enough. And they start calling out boat numbers, dude. And I take off, and I get to the mouth where I can go left to go to the Pascagoula or right to go to the bay to go to Mobile. And I just hung a right, went to Mobile. And I just went as fast as I could, straight fog, couldn't see anything. Drove as fast as I could, dodging those poles.
So what does it do when you was talking about jump to oyster bed? Does it mess your prop?
Well, it's just like a foot deep. I mean, you feel it. It's just real shallow. Yeah.
Oh, you don't hit bottom.
I mean, the prop does a little bit. Skegs do.
I'll say if it's oysters, you know it.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can destroy your boat.
I get out of whack, and I know that I missed this little S turn, and I'm watching my depth finder. It's blinking like 0.9. And I feel the engine hitting bottom, hitting the sandbars, and I'm trimming it up, and I'm just flooring it, and just going, and I'm looking off in the fog, and I see a silhouette of a boat, like a shrimp boat. And so I start going towards the shrimp boat, thinking like it's deep water. The shrimp boat's on its side. It's like a destroyed one. There's pelicans and stuff standing there. So I go whipping by that thing, almost get stuck. I make it over there. I fish for 45 minutes, dude. 45 minutes. And I catch like 12 pounds. And turn around and drive all the way back. Solid fog the whole way. The whole way fog there, the whole way fog back. So now I think I'm still in second. I go out on day 3, no fog. Now we've got a real hard north wind.
What tournament? What kind of tournament? Was this a bass?
Yeah, no, FLW.
FLW
$100,000 tournament. Day 3, this is a funny story. This is the funny part of the story. Day 3, I'm running north wind. Wesley Strader's the camera boat driver. He's in a boat following me. I got the camera guy in my boat, and we're driving my co-angler, and Wesley's behind me. And we're driving along, north wind, but I'm on that shoreline and it's calm, but the wind's blowing over the trees. And we're about halfway there in the middle of nowhere. Phones don't work or anything down there. And all of a sudden, I look back, and I don't see Wesley anymore. I don't see his boat. I'm like, where the heck did he go? So I come off plane, I look back there, and I can see on the horizon a boat. I turn around and drive back like 2 miles. He's just sitting there. He's like, dude, I don't know what happened. The engine stopped working. I'm like, what do you want to do? He goes, I don't know, man. Just leave me here and just... I said, the phones don't work, dude. I can't call anybody. We can't call anybody. I don't feel comfortable leaving you here, dude. Like... What do you think we should do? I said, just get in the boat, just let the dang thing float. It's just gonna go out there by those islands or something, and I'll waypoint it. And when we get to Dolphin Island Bridge,
looking like that shrimp boat in a couple days.
He didn't have power poles. You couldn't let the poles down.
No, we didn't have anchor or anything. We didn't have spot lock. This was
all.
all.
Was it one of FLW's boats?
Yeah,
perfect.
But this is good. This is good. So
no wonder y'all left it floating.
Bill Taylor's boy.
Yeah, no, that's exactly.
Boy, what'd you do with my boat, boy?
That's exactly what I got. No, boy, what'd you do with my boat? So I waypoint where the boat is. I don't want to leave him in the boat because I'm thinking something might happen to him. So we all ride in my boat. We get to Dolphin Island Bridge.
4 of you?
Yeah, we get to Dolphin Island Bridge. I call FLW and say, hey, look, here's the boat. Boat broke down. We need another camera boat. Go to the I-10 bridge.
Here's where we think it is.
Here's a waypoint where the boat was. It's not going to go very far. Y'all need to send somebody over there and get it. You know, not that big of a deal.
Right.
I mean, just go get it. Well, we go on up to I-10. I start fishing. I'm catching them and everything. They bring another boat over. We swap everything out, and everything's good to go. I catch another big bag. I'm leaving the tournament. Go there the last day of the tournament. Run over there, and I catch a 6-pounder, dude. The first bass I catch. It's the biggest bass ever caught. Like, it's big bass of the tournament and everything. Like, you don't catch. It's like catching a 6-pounder here.
Yeah.
I thought it was a redfish when I was fighting it. So I catch the 6-pounder, catch a couple more nice ones, catch like 15 or 16 pounds that day, and blow the tournament out. Win the tournament. Everything's great. Crazy deal. A whole month goes by, and this is when I hear Bill Taylor at the next tournament. Oh, boy, tell you something about that boat. We just found it. I go, huh? What are you talking about? He goes, they just found it off the coast of Florida. It had dripped. Yeah. Somebody had salvaged the boat and found it. It was floating like off of Tampa. They didn't go find the boat. Like, they didn't find it. They went out there like a couple hours later.
They just claimed the insurance.
Yeah, and it was gone.
That's exactly what
and
they
then
did.
a month later, somebody found it and it got reported, and they towed it into Lake Tampa Bay. 518 Ranger.
One of the old
It had, like,
corporate
pedigree
sponsors.
on the side
Yeah, I was
of
gonna say it had pedigree or Kellogg's or Walmart.
That's why the rules. That's why the
my
rule
gosh.
says you have to anchor your boat. That's when that rule came about. I'm the one that did that
funny.
rule.
Oh my gosh. They've made all kind of rules because of you.
Well, that was definitely one of them there. That was a crazy
That
deal.
was one of them, I promise you.
Yes.
That's
All
nuts.
right, Matt, what's your farthest?
Yeah, I got nothing.
You got nothing?
My furthest.
Teleco,
I mean,
maybe?
I have it run more than.
You've never had to gas up?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna tell you where because you'll laugh.
I
at
know
me.
where.
Where?
When y'all bay, you had to gas up.
No.
Yes, sir. You ran around so much on day one, you had to go get gas.
Oh well, I've done it twice then.
Where's
He
it?
didn't,
the other ti- the other-
he didn't let go 20 miles away from the launch, and he had to get gas.
He had to get gas just running around in circles?
Because he just ran in circles all day.
I wanted to hit a lot of stuff twice.
Yeah, or 3 times.
The other time was the Forest Wood Cup at Lake Murray. I had to get gas.
Did you really?
Dude, I went so far down and so far up and so far down and then all the way back up, and I was like, uh-oh, I better get gas.
Oh, my gosh. Did you catch him?
I had
you
like,
spun out that
12. No, I think I finished like 15th in that one.
Was that the one that everybody called him?
No, that was the one where Canterbury finished second. I finished like
I remember that.
13th or 15th in that.
Is that the one Anthony won?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's when that dude, the old man with the
Yeah.
big glasses.
Yeah. Dude, that nitro.
I told Anthony that was going to happen. I was on that spot. Him and I were fishing a couple of those same schools. And on day 3, that guy did it to me. He
Oh,
rolled
really?
up on me. He was fishing about 100 yards away. And I pulled up on the one spot. Dude, he put his trolling motor on. He's in a little bass tracker. He put his trolling motor on
No,
high.
he was in like a little red night. By the way, this is on YouTube somewhere. Like
Yeah.
if you like,
It's
search,
in my video.
okay, well, it's
in-
on your video.
yeah.
If you search like, because it's popped up on my YouTube search before
Yeah.
on fishing disputes,
Yeah.
or something like that. This is one of them.
Yeah.
Not Scott's, but Anthony's confrontation with this knucklehead.
It was an older guy, and he was out there. He was throwing a white floating worm on a spinning rod. He'd cast it and only go about from here to the door. And
The line looked like this.
He was in a little boat, and he sat in the front seat. And when I stopped the boat, I don't know, 100 yards or so from him, he turned that boat around and came at me full speed on that trolling motor. He reached down and turned that thing as high as it can go. Here he comes, and he's casting at me and reeling. And he literally comes up, and I had to move my boat out of the way. I said, "You about to ram my boat, dude?" And he just looking at me. I don't even think he even said anything.
He didn't say anything to you?
Really?
No, he just was like, it was crazy.
He said a lot to Anthony that day.
Yes.
And,
Oh,
and,
it was
and
crazy.
the great thing was FLW was, I mean, they wanted to be sure that they made this guy look like an idiot. He's a lunatic, man. And the guy said, and Anthony's mind, he's fishing for $500,000.
Yeah. He might have said something like, go back to where you're from.
He
This is
said-
my
he
lake or
said,
something like
You
that.
need to quit showing the world. That's the problem with you boys. Y'all show the world all these good spots. And he said, y'all need to go out and get a real damn job like everybody else. That's exactly what he said
He
to
said
him.
something like that to me.
And
too.
Anthony did really, really good. Like, he handled it unbelievably well.
I hit that guy in the head with that big old top water. Got him right in the forehead, dude. Knocked him right out of the boat.
You did? Oh,
No.
I'm like, is that on video? I ain't seen
No.
that.
He needed it. I'm
That
going to
would've
tell you
been
that.
awesome. Man, that big giant shower blow they make now, the big giant one, that'd have been a good one to hit him with.
That would be a good one. But that was that was really crazy. I told Anthony, I said, dude, you fish that spot tomorrow. That guy, if he's there, he's going to run up on you, try to spear my boat today. And I was fishing on another spot. He ran over there, And that guy, here he comes, and I watched the whole thing with that, on that last day where Anthony and him were arguing back and forth.
He ever
guy was
catch a
chasing
bass?
him around. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the funny part. I don't think he ever caught
No.
one fishing around Anthony either.
No.
No, that was crazy. Well, cool. All right. Well, that was good. Some
Long
good
ride
stories.
stories.
Hopefully, we'll have another really good story to tell after this tournament on some long runs. I just hope I can get out here with some good points, man. I mean, I honestly have no idea. I put all my eggs in this basket. Can I catch 5 fish over there? I think I got a good chance of catching 5 keepers. Are they going to weigh more than 6 pounds? That's the mystery. I don't know. And the only thing I'm banking on is that I put my hands on a couple, and I've seen a couple above average fish, 2.5, 3 pound fish. If I can get 1 or 2 of those a day to bite, along with the limit, that's
yeah.
a good.
Oh man,
yeah, it's a good bag.
Like a 2-pounder here is absolute gold.
Yeah. So
But the bad thing is you catch 4 keepers, which are 4 pounds. Keeper weighs a pound here, roughly 12 incher.
Can.
And you catch a 2-pounder. You
still
still only
don't get
got
a
6
check.
pounds.
Yeah.
You really need 2 2-pounders.
Yep.
yeah.
And that's a tall task.
I mean, if like we fished so far, I haven't seen anything. I put my hands on 2 fish over 2 pounds, and every single other fish has been under 1.5 pounds.
Yes.
Yeah, but if it's pound 5, pound 4, that's still above average keeper compared to the Sabine and stuff.
Right.
I mean, it is. Like,
Yeah. Well, I wonder why they're so small.
Are they fat over there? I tell you why.
Why? And,
Well-
and by the way, if you're watching this podcast and you are intimate with this fishery here, tell us why. I mean, why is this place so
It's-
tough
think
with small
it's-
fish?
It's not fishing good right now because of, a lot of it's flooded, like that
Storms.
Natchez River.
It's all about weather down here. It's like
Yes.
any tidal river that's next to the coast, especially in high hurricane areas, which we are in the middle of one right now,
Right.
down here in the Gulf, Texas, Louisiana. They've had more floods, more high water, and more natural disasters in the past decade than anywhere on the southern
Yeah.
U.S.
Right.
So if you think about that, what does that do to a largemouth bass? Like, it destroys them. It can kill off
Louisiana
everything
side
in the ecosystem.
is really good, I think.
But I think it's more
More
protected.
marsh.
Yeah, it's way back though, like
Yeah.
way back. Like
Yeah.
you
This is more exposed.
correct, and like it's much
Yeah.
more sensitive to. I mean,
got you.
Do you think it's the amount of fish people keep here?
Well, I'm sure that has something.
That's
to
a
do
lot
with
to
it. I
do
mean,
with
dude,
it.
I seen a
Think
dude
so?
the first day throwing 10-inch bass in a cooler.
Yeah.
10 inches?
Is there even a limit?
And
here?
he never measured any of them, dude. I saw him catch.
There
a
might
couple
not
of
even be a limit in Louisiana.
Well,
There's not.
he wasn't in Louisiana.
Well,
Obviously,
probably
'cause
used
I
to.
couldn't have been in Louisiana.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Every time I've been like Pascagoula River, Mobile, this place here, all kind of very similar with fish sizes.
Yeah.
And
Well, the
Pascagoula-
salt water, it does stunt
I
the growth a
think
little
that's-
bit.
I think that's
Yeah,
part of it.
brackish water. Well, if you think like one of the grass helps that a lot. Like on the eastern part, I can't remember what river it is now. Eastern part of North Carolina, there used to be a river down there that kick out double-digit fish, and it's brackish. And it used to be dominated by like hydrilla, milfoil, and then
Right.
of course storms jacked all that
Yeah,
up, right? But I think what it happened, it killed out a lot of the fish, and then we've had, if you think about it, over the past 10 or 15 years, we've had more storms than we
Yeah.
did 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
And that I mean, that's my theory. I might be wrong, but
Yeah.
I
I think
it's
grass
weather
is the
influence.
key. Grass seems to be the key everywhere you go.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, listen, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. We're getting real close to getting the name Prop Wash, or we blow it all out, is what I'm voting for right now. But keep dropping some comments down below. Let us know what you think, guys, and appreciate you hanging out. We're just goofing around, sharing some stories with you guys, just trying to have a good time. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. Let's go to bed, Matt.
See if we can't catch
Yeah,
a few.
way past
All right,
my
dude.
bedtime.
Here.
It's 9:07. We're 7
Pawpaw's
minutes.
supposed to be in the bed 30 minutes
7
ago.
minutes.
Good night.